Welcome to this week's Smackdown Recap. As always in these recap videos, we go over everything you need to know about this important episode of WWE. I give my thoughts on this week's episode of Smackdown, and as always, you guys can leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. But before we get anywhere in the video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and as always, like I said, leave your thoughts, and go follow the socials. The links to those are in the description of this video. But now, let's get right on into this week's Smackdown Recap. Man, did we start off this show hot, man, dude. Chicago was such a great crowd for this opener, but our opener took place, we started off with John Cena, and he says he doesn't have anything planned, and instead he just wants to come out here and celebrate with Chicago. He says that this is obviously his last appearance on Smackdown. No, not his last appearance in WWE yet, but just his last appearance on the Blue brand. And then he says obviously it is his last appearance in Chicago, but he wants to take the time to celebrate with Chicago because Chicago set up the John Cena that we have today. Obviously with everything that John Cena did on his debut with Kurt Angle, and even in main events of WrestleMania. So that's really what John Cena's main focus was here. But like I said, he said that he did not have anything planned. So once he's done celebrating, he says, thank you Chicago, good night, and enjoy the show. But before he could get out of the ring, who comes out? Well, what I thought was going to be Brock Lesnar turned out to be Sami Zayn, man. But this was just as good as getting Brock Lesnar, if not better. I'm going to explain why. Now, I bet you're wondering, Sami Zayn, how is that as good as getting Brock Lesnar? Trust me, this was great. So Sami Zayn comes out and he thanks Cena, says that on behalf of everybody, I'm here to thank you for everything that you've done for the title that I'm currently carrying, which obviously is the U.S. title, and for everything that you've done for the people, the talents back there, and even the younger talents that are training to become wrestlers today. He says thank you for all that, and then he asked for permission to issue a potential Sami Zayn open challenge to start that. And what does John Cena say? He says, yes, that's a great idea. I appreciate you asking. Have a good night, Sami. And then John Cena proceeds to walk out of the ring again. But does he walk out of the ring? No, he doesn't, because Sami stops him and he tells him, but John, I don't want just anybody as my first challenger. I want you, and I don't want to do it next week. I don't want to do it next month. I want to do it tonight. The crowd goes crazy after Sami says that. They keep, they do the yes chants, and then John Cena says, you know what, you're on. Let's get a referee out here, and then now we are about to jump into that match in just after this clip. But man, what a great segment here. I absolutely enjoyed this. You could feel the emotion. You could feel it was very electrifying, man. So this was one of those segments that that could wake you up, man. I'm serious. This was kind of like a reality check. It really formatted just exactly where we are in this John Cena retirement tour. So it really got us up to speed very quickly, if you ask me. But I love this opener. Frickin' was awesome. And man, let's go ahead and review that match right now. Alright, man, and here we go. Yes, we moved on to the U.S. Open Challenge between Sami Zayn and John Cena, and as you can expect, a banger of a fucking match, man. Yes, just like the Logan Paul match, you can absolutely consider this overkill, but, and man, it doesn't matter. It was overkill for a great reason, man, and it really was not about overkill. It wasn't about how good the match was. This match was really overall based around sentimental and just nostalgic value, man. The John Cena U.S. title open challenge, that is something that is solidified and has really developed the mid-card of WWE and just the overall state of WWE over the past decade and even 2 decades, man. So I mean this really is a sentimental match, a nostalgic match, man. Like I said, this match was not about being good. Now, yes, it was good. Like I said, it was not bad at all, but that's not the focus here. The focus here was the sentimental value. And yes, there was that sentimental value, but then also we did see a major a major shift in the storyline as well, man, because we had a major attitude adjustment from John Cena to Sami Zayn off the top rope. Both men are down for a good, I don't know if you want to say minute, but at least within a minute, we do see then Brock Lesnar fucking come out, and he is He comes to the ring, he F5s Sami Zayn, and then he delivers like two F5s to John Cena, I believe. I believe it was two. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was two. He delivered two to Cena, and then he walked out, man. But so the major takeaways here is the match ended in obviously a disqualification. Actually, technically, it didn't really even end at all necessarily because Lesnar pulled out the ref and the bell actually never rung. So technically, I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie. But man, obviously this does set up our WrestlePalooza match. Obviously, we already know we are going to get John Cena and Brock Lesnar. I can't wait for that match. That match is going to be awesome. But man, this was very cool, and I absolutely enjoyed this, man. The sentimental value and nostalgic value, and just the overall greatness of this match was all freaking there, man. And that is what made this match so freaking awesome. Alright, and now we moved on to Aleister Black versus Damian Priest. So as as Damian Priest is making his entrance, we do see an attack from Aleister Black. Obviously the match does eventually get started, and as far as the overall match, I mean, it's just as you'd expect. This is a mid-card feud, and I just don't feel like there was anything super special, and that's not to say that this match was bad. I'm just going to say that this match was decent. I think this one is going to be similar to how I felt about the Sheamus and Rusev feud. I feel like I need it to finally get to that point where we have a match that kind of is like a Extreme Rules, no holds barred type of stipulation. That's kind of what I feel like this feud needs. Just like I thought the Sheamus and Rusev feud needed it. And obviously, when that match finally happened with Sheamus and Rusev, I was pleasantly satisfied with that feud after the fact. Obviously, they had that match at Clash in Paris, so that's kind of what I'm feeling for this feud. Like I said, that's not to say that this match was bad. There was some very good things in this match that I liked. Obviously, man, that freaking black mask that Aleister Black has is, man, that thing is gnarly, man. That thing looks very freaking gnarly. I would not want to take that. Not gonna lie. But man, like I said, I'm not saying this match is bad. It hasn't reached to the extent of what I think it needs to be, or what I think what I think it inevitably needs to become. But as far as just grading off of this particular match, I think it was decent. And like I said, we just need to get to that Extreme Rules, no holds barred type of stipulation with this feud, and I think we're good, man. I really, that's just what I think we need with this feud, and I think once that happens, I think everybody's going to be pleasantly happy with this feud. But like I said, for this match, I will give this match, it was decent. It was definitely decent. And I almost forgot. Our winner of that match was Aleister Black. I don't know why I forgot to even mention the winner, but yes, our winner of this match was Aleister Black. Alright, and with this next match, honestly, there's not much to talk about. We moved on to Julia and Michin for the U.S. title, for the Women's United States Championship. Two things I have to say. I don't care about this match, and I mean, really just one thing. I could just care less, man. I don't care. I don't think this match is really any good, honestly. I just, WWE has not done a good job at really making me want to really care about this feud, and this match was also rushed. Michin just got the title shot last week by pinning Kiana James in a 1 second match. Got her with a quick roll up, and now she has this opportunity, and now we're here. And I just don't care for the match. It just was not good. There's nothing crazy about it. It's really just one of those matches that I could care less about. As you'd expect, Julia does retain her title, and really that's all you gotta know because, man, I just don't care about this freaking feud, if you ask me. Alright, and now we move on to our main event of the night, man, and oh my god, bro, this main event was freaking awesome, man. As everybody expected, man, big things freaking happened here. So we started off with Seth Rollins, and he doesn't say much. All he does is introduce Becky Lynch down to the ring. At this point, Seth Rollins is up in the crowd. So he calls out Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out, goes out to the ring, and she gets booed the hell out of Chicago, man. The Chicago boos the freaking hell out of her. It's honestly kind of crazy, man. And then she says that I am the greatest woman to ever do it in this business. It's not just me saying it. It's just kind of the same things that she says week after week. It's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. Chicago, other people in Chicago even say it. So, kind of like it's just things like that. It's kind of the format we've seen with Becky. But that's really all she says until finally CM Punk does come out, and CM Punk says, I have no problem with you. I don't want anything to do with you. What I want is your coward of a husband. And then obviously that's kind of the same thing we've seen with CM Punk as well already. But then Becky Lynch proceeds to obviously just like she did last week. She just kind of slaps around CM Punk. And then CM Punk says, I don't recommend you doing that. I could call some people and get some people in here to take your ass down. Basically, he mentions he mentions the Eradicator. He even mentions his sister. He even mentions his own sister. He even mentions Bailey. So he mentions a few women there. But obviously we know who the big one was. We know who the big one is. CM Punk goes to the outside of the ring. He stands at the end of the entrance ramp, and man, you hear that freaking music, man. You hear that music, man, and it's time to light it up, man, because AJ Lee is back, bro. Let's freaking go, man. Everybody knew this one was gonna. Oh my god, what happened to my chair? Oh my god, man. But man, this main event absolutely freaking awesome, man. AJ Lee is back. She kicked the shit out of Becky Lynch, and there it is. That is WrestlePalooza for you, man. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I can't wait for it. So glad AJ Lee's back, and man, this build to this match is going to be freaking awesome because it already has been amazing, and it's just going to continue to get even freaking better, man. Alright, well that is it for this week's SmackDown recap, man. Honestly, this was a great SmackDown. I'm saying it, man. This was a great SmackDown. I can't lie. This could be the SmackDown, not the SmackDown of the year, but one of the better SmackDowns of this year, abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, there was a few things that, weren't that crazy, but considering all the things that happened that were freaking awesome, I mean, honestly, I'm going to call this a great one. That's just me personally. But as always, leave me your thoughts down in the comments below on this show, or just any thoughts that you have on pro wrestling in general. As always, though, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. I do daily. Not daily. I post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and every day out of the weekend. So you can You can follow this page, and it helps me out a ton. You get even more wrestling content from me. But like I said, hope you guys did enjoy it. And as always, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace. I dream of